Hi, my name is Jordan Roper, freshman, Clemson University. My major is Parks, Tour, and Recreation Management. My concentration is Community Rec, Sports Camp Management, and I'm a student athlete. I play men's basketball, and the student dialogue that I attended was 50 Years After Segregation, Race and Education. I feel we achieved true dialogue because several different students were able to put in their input or discuss their opinion about the topic, and there was no bickering or conflict when one person spoke how they felt about a different conflict. Um, True dialogue is being able to communicate both sides without any interruptions or disrespect. It's trying to come to one conclusion about a topic. There are active voices in the group, in the student dialogue. There was one guy. He spoke about his personal experiences, and the dialogue's more or less about minorities. And he was a Caucasian student. He was a white guy. And he spoke about different situations where he was the minority, like playing basketball. He was the minority when on the court or on a team. He'd be like the only white guy playing, and there are other students who also were active voices. Active voices meaning they spoke up when a question was presented to the group, and this other person spoke about how they never really encountered that many black people while they were in Wisconsin. They rarely saw them, but I mean they didn't treat them like outcasts. They just weren't the majority or close to the majority. There were reserved voices also, meaning when a question came, they only spoke when they were called upon. They kept their opinion to themselves, and they didn't say much when they did speak. Students like that usually just gave yes or no responses, or I mean, they often asked, how do you feel about this topic, or how do you feel about this statistic, and the student would say, well, I mean, I'm shocked, I didn't know that, but they didn't really say much about the topic. They just said yes or no to little questions. I mean, I felt my role in the group was kind of in between. I was more reserved, if you say, but when I was called upon, I had an active voice. I spoke about how I felt. I expressed my opinion, and I was able to elaborate on why I felt that way. And I feel like I had that role because I could relate to the topic more because I'm an African American student. I am the minority at Clemson University. And the statistic that I'm talking about is African American students in the student body for Clemson University is only 6%, and Latino students is 2%. And being a minority, me, myself, I don't pay much attention to being the minority because I see us all as just Clemson University students. But when you learn that statistic, it becomes shocking to you, just being only 6%. But the great part about it is you're still accepted as a regular student, and you're able to have dialogues like this and discuss controversial topics. I enjoyed the dialogue because it brought a lot of knowledge that I didn't know. I was ignorant to, did not know that there was only 6% African American students at Clemson University. It doesn't bother me much, like I said before, but it's just something that you wouldn't know unless the statistic was told to you. For the most part, I wasn't offended by anything anyone said, and I don't think I offended anyone in any way. If I did, I'm sorry. But I enjoy the dialogue because it builds knowledge of the subject. I don't think a lot of students know that there's only 6% African American students because we're so busy with, just the work that we have to do in our social lives that we don't stop and pay attention to those kind of things. And to a lot of students, it doesn't matter to them, which is good in a way, and it's also bad in a way because you don't want to forget. You don't want to forget about the history, but you don't want to just sit on it and just linger on it and worry about it so much. But it's good to get that knowledge and be able to speak about it. Me myself, I don't pay attention to race because being a student athlete, when I'm in the basketball games, I don't pay attention to whether it's white or black fans. All I see is orange when I'm on the court playing for Clemson. But I think this dialogue was a component of Library 100 because In the college setting, you have to be able to discuss different topics in a group. You have a lot of group projects, and it's an integral part to being a college student. And I thought it was useful to. It will be a useful tool for my experience for that matter. Just working in groups and being able to have dialogue rather than a discussion or a debate. I feel this student dialogue it will help me down the road.